Good morning and welcome to math. We are starting a new unit today. As you'll remember that with last time we were together, we finished a unit. This will be a unit that's very familiar to you. You'll know in class we looked at the word sort as part of our math vocabulary. And to sort meant to put objects into groups. And so when we put objects into groups, we have to think about how we're going to do that. And so we're going to look at a word today called classify. We're going to classify objects. So to classify means that you decide how you're going to sort. You decide what attribute you're going to use to sort by. So classify, that's our new vocabulary word for math, classify. We're on lesson 5, unit 1. Classify objects into categories. So that mainly means sort them into groups, but you have to decide how you're sorting. And that deciding how is how we classify. It's called classify. So you'll see our friend Carlos. There's our friend Carlos. He is at a pet fair today. And they've asked Carlos to categorize or classify the animals into 2 different groups. And he has 2 tents. There's a purple tent and a red tent. So Carlos thought for a while and he said, how can I classify the animals? Let me look at that group of animals. So he was looking at his group of animals and he decided that he would put all the animals with 4 legs in the purple tent and all the animals that do not have 4 legs in the red tent. So let's look at the animals that Carlos saw at the pet fair and decide where he put them. So his first animal was a dog. Well, most dogs have 4 legs, right? So he put the dog in the purple tent because it has 4 legs. The next animal he saw was a bird. Do birds have 4 legs? Nope. So he put the bird in the red tent. He put it in this tent where animals do not have 4 legs. Then he went to another animal, sheep. Sheep have 4 legs, so he put the sheep in the purple tent. Another animal he saw, snake. Snake have legs? You remember this from our unit on snakes. Snakes do not have legs. So the snake went in the red tent, animals that do not have 4 legs. Then there was another dog, 4 legs, so he put 3 animals in the tent with the 4 legs. He put 2 animals in the tent, not 4 legs. So he classified them as having 4 legs or not having 4 legs and divided them into the tent. All right, you're going to flip your page over and you're going to see that Carlos is back at the pet fair. Now there's a big group of the animals that he sees. He needs to classify them another way. So Carlos thinks about how he could classify the animals and he decides that he's going to put a group that has hair and a group that has no hair. So let's look at the animals. He decides to put in the group with hair the horse, the dog, the cat, the gerbil, the rabbit, and it looks like a rat. So did he put those in the group that have hair? Yep. No hair, he put a frog, a lizard, a snake, a fish. Do they have hair? Nope. So they were put in the group with no hair. All right, now we're going to move down. I'm going to slide our board a little bit closer to the computer so you can see the page that we're working on with me and work down through it with me. All right, so we're going to start right here on number 1. Put your finger on the star with number 1. What we're going to be doing in this row is circling the animals that have feathers and putting an X on the animals that do not have feathers. So the first one we're looking at is a turkey. Does turkey have feathers? Yes. So 2 o'clock dot, we're going to make a nice circle around our turkey. What about snake? No feathers on a snake. Crisscross, exit out. What about a robin or a bluebird? Feathers. Draw a nice circle. Rooster, feathers. Frog, no feathers there. Hen, feathers. Draw a circle. What about a worm? No feathers there. So we have put a circle on the animals that have feathers, and we've X'd out the animals that do not have feathers. All right. We're going to move to our second page And we're going to be on number 2. Okay, so here we have another group of animals. We're going to look at these animals, and we're going to look for animals that have wings. What do animals with wings do? They usually fly, right? Having wings gives you the ability to fly. So we're going to be looking at animals with wings and animals that do not have wings. All right, we're going to circle the animals that have wings. Remember that we like to work from left to right. So we're going to go across the top. Does the bald eagle have wings? Yes. Bluebird? Yes. Squirrel? No. What are we going to do to the squirrel? Put an X on him. Now we're going to come down to our next row. Horse. Wings? Nope. Put an X. What about a robin? Yes. So we're going to circle it. So we circled 3 animals that have wings and 2 animals that do not. All right, now we're moving over to number 3. We're going to be circling the white rabbits. And if it's not a white rabbit, we're going to put an X on it. So we're going to start right here. Again, working left to right. Always working left to right. First rabbit is white. We're going to put a circle on it. Next one is brown. It's not white. That one's not white. This one's not white. Go down to our next row. This rabbit is not white. Another X. There's a white rabbit. So we're going to circle it and a brown one. So we should have circled 2 rabbits. Now we're going to move down to the cows. So how are we going to classify these cows? We're going to circle the cows that are brown and put an X on the cows that are not. And just for clarification, this is a brown cow. That is a black cow. So we're looking for brown cows. Again, working left to right across our rows. So we're going to start with this one. Is that a brown cow? Yep. Is that a brown cow? Nope. It's black. It gets an X. Is that a brown cow? Not a brown cow. Come down to the next row. Brown cow? Nope. Brown cow? Yes. So we're going to circle here and circle here. All right, now we're moving over to number 5. We're going to draw a circle around the dogs that have spots. And we're going to put an X on the dogs that do not have spots. So we have to look really carefully. So we're classifying by spots. If the dog has spots, we're going to circle it. If it does not, we're going to put an X on it. So we're classifying by spots. So let's go to the first one. The first one, no spots. So we're going to put an X there. What about this one? No spots there. What about that one? That one has spots. So we're going to circle the little white and brown dog because he has spots. Move to the end. Does that one have spots? Nope. If we come down here, we can see, you have to look closely, but this dog does have spots. So we're going to circle that one right there. What about this one? Does it have spots? I would say so. Does that one? No spots there. What about the little Chihuahua at the bottom? No spots there. The the Dalmatian has a ton of spots. You remember this is the dog that you might see at a firehouse if you went to a firehouse. So we're going to circle the Dalmatian because he has lots of spots. So in number 5, we were classifying by spots. You're going to flip your page over. Now we're going to be looking at some birds. Some of our birds are green and some are not. So Carlos has decided to classify the birds by whether they're green or not green. So we're going to go across our row. If it is a green bird, what are we going to do? We're going to circle it. If it's not, we're going to put an X over it. So let's go across the top row as best we can. They're sort of spread out. Let's start with this yellow one. Well, we know it's not green because I just said it's yellow. So we're going to put an X on that one. Our next one is green. We'll circle it. This one is yellow and black, not green. This parrot is green, so we're going to circle it. Coming up here, this parakeet is blue. It is not green, so we're going to put an X. This bird is green. The hummingbird is green, so we're circling it. The yellow parakeet is not green, and the blue parakeet is not green. So when you finish, you should have circled 4 green birds. So Carlos has identified 4 green birds. All right, in number 7, We're moving over. We're going to draw a circle around the animals that have tails. So we're classifying by if they have a tail or do not have a tail. Does a dog have a tail? Yes. So we're going to circle the dog. Does a frog have a tail? Not when it is mature. So we're going to put an X on it. Does a pig have a tail? Yep. Does a duck have a tail? Does cat have a tail? Yes. Does a cow have a tail? Yes. So you should have marked 4 animals that have tails. Duck has a tail feather, but we wouldn't call that a tail. So we're just going to have the dog, the pig, the cat, and the cow. All right, move down to number 8, and I want you to look at these 2 groups. So this is higher thinking, so we have to think a little bit about these. Carlos has put these animals into 2 kind of categories, and we have to decide what he chose as his method of classifying the animals. Wonder what he did. Look closely and see if you can figure it out. All right, what do you notice about a zebra, a tiger, and a skunk? What do they all have in common? Yep, stripes. They all have stripes. What about the ones in the bottom? A monkey, an elephant, and a rabbit. No stripes, no stripes. So see if you can think of one more animal that has stripes and draw a picture here, and one more animal that does not have stripes and put it there. That's our higher thinking. So you have to use your eyes and visually identify what is common among one of the groups of animals. This group of animals all have stripes. This group does not. We classify these animals by stripes, no stripes. So I want you to remember the word classify. It's how we decide to sort. It's what attribute we use to sort by. And then we put them into categories. And so that was your lesson today for 5, Unit 1. And I will see you tomorrow for math for 5, Unit 2.